Hello people, we are talking about the murder of Rauter, also known as Noia de Portbou. I've been investigating this case for now more than 7 months, and it's incredible that people are still having doubts, so they are discussing on the internet whether it was a suicide or it was a murder, or like they believe it was a murder when it's 100% murder. Okay, and if you look at the police photo, black and white Guardia Civil photo, where you have like the vertical lines are drawn to measure the height, like how high is the branch where it was hanged, how high are her feet from the ground, etc. And that photo, if you zoom in on the back of Evie's head, you can, without zooming in, you can clearly see that there is something in her hair. But if you zoom it in, you're going to see like some kind of occult object that is like two strings going down, holding that object, and then it's like some kind of snake head, lizard head, I don't know, like bird's head or whatever it is. And do you think Evie put it in her hair herself? Some ritual occult, this amulet, or what is it? And then if you are talking about how Evie Rauter could have hanged herself and climb that rope and stuff, watch the famous photo in color when she's filmed from the back, when they put the bed sheet over her head, and you will see that her hair is outstretched and tied to something. Like a piece of her hair is outstretched and tied to something. And even if you think that somebody did it afterwards she was found dead. I mean, that's a ridiculous idea, but if you think that, then you can watch the photo before they put the bed sheet over. When she's filmed from the side, from the right side, and you can see that stuff outstretched. And photo of her from any angles, if you look at the hair, if you zoom in on the hair, if you look at the details, you will see something implanted in her hair, and there's some piece of a string. And then you look at the autopsy photo. You go to the missingdoe.com, and you will see that there are the photos, autopsy photos from Evie Rauter that was used. This missingdoe.com, where it was, I will put that in the description. There are the photos in color of Evie Rauter on the autopsy table, 6th of September, 2 days after her death. There is one famous black and white photo of her like this from the front, and then you have two photos from the sides. Apart from other suspicious things, when you look at the photo that is filmed like from her left side, so the left side of Evie, in the hair, you will see that object that was hanged in her hair. And when you look at the photo, the famous photo, black and white, from the front, like where she looks like she's sleeping, you see from her hair like a piece of string. Something very strange that can be seen. Nobody's talking about paying attention to that. So they either are not like careful, you know, like the investigators, they don't talk about that. They didn't notice it, or they didn't want to notice it. And the same goes for the forensic, Dr. Lacassi. How can you do autopsy and examination, not find that she has something stuck in her hair, some piece of a string hanging from her hair? It's just obvious. You look at the photos and you see that. You know, like, but when she was hanged there with that stuff here and all the stuff, the details that I talked in my videos around, it's some occult ritual, and she was like killed in some kind of a ritual, like some kind of sacrifice or something. And there are evidence all over, but people are like ignoring that and like, I don't know, like doing some other stuff. But the evidence are in the photos. You can see everything in the photos, you know. Apart from all the circumstantial evidences of the Austrian group there, apart from the testimony of Carmina and the neighbors and stuff, in the photos is like clearly, you just take a look at the photo, you see the evidence of the murder. You just see the evidence of the murder. Look at the hair of Evie Rauter. There's and now I'm hearing that that in Italy they closed the investigation for the murder of Evie Rauter. And you know, you look at the hair, official photograph from the police. Back of the head, in the hair of Evie Rauter, is they've planted some object there with a piece of strings, and then they hang her up on that tree. The Austrians, it was heard by the neighbors. It was heard their testimony of Carmina Cole. I mean, you know, if somebody is murdered somewhere, you know, if all the cases were like this, then the murderers will be walking all over, you know. You could not prove nothing, you know. I don't know what proofs they need. They need like 10 infrared cameras set up all around, focused on that pine tree, and then they have to have like the video from all the angles, video footage of that murder, and then these people would still go and, yeah, but you know, maybe it's not them. From this distance, can we identify? Are they really hanging her, or maybe they are trying something else to do to her? But it was like some kind of evidence. It's like fucking ridiculous shit, you know. I don't want to be a part of all this circus, because this is a tragic death. It's a murder of a young girl, hijacked and murdered for this religious ritual of this Nordic paganism and stuff, you know, sacrifice to the holy tree, Yggdrasil and some shit. And all these people incapable, or they are not motivated to do anything about that justice. It's just commenting, you know, it's a tragic, yeah, what happened to poor girl and stuff, you know, but what are we doing about that? Let's fucking demand that these people are investigated at least. See you in the next video.